τραγωδία. Κάποιοι παριστάνε το άλλο σε αυτό. Τι αλλού είναι.
Don't keep a sharp watch.
Το απροσδόκητο του πελάτου και θεμελιώστε το δεδομένο. Μήπως εσύ πήγε.
Έχουμε μόνο λίγους παρούς, ο άνθρωπες.
Step aside. Λίγο σπίτι μου.
Οδηγούν επιθυμείτε ο
Ότι
άνθρωπος.
στις θαλάσσιες πόλεμος υπάρχει δεν
Ποτέ γεννήθηκε και
Move out of my way!
Όφηση του πολιτηρίου ευρύσει στην μάντρα μετά τη σύλληψη.
Ταμάλαη, αενάος,
Clear the way!
Ο εμός εξάδελφος καινοτόμος Ταμάλαη, αενάος, μηχανοποιός το στρατεύμα.
Όφησε του πολιτηρίου ευρύσει στην μάνδρα μετά τη σύλληψη.
The watch will be vigilant here.
Εντάτε.
A power I wield indeed. I told you last time I thought I could summon you when needed, and it has happened yet again.
And for what this time?
My friend here needs to be taken to the sanctuary of Elefsis, near the border of Mecharis. He'll finish the trek across the border on his own.
So, do you want to lie to me now or later?
Whatever do you mean?
Is this friend of yours actually a friend? I'm not going to find out they're a wanted criminal or they don't actually want your help, am I?
I'm hurt that you jump straight to accusations. A relationship must be built on trust, after all.
Fuck you, Alcibiades. To get trust, you have to prove you deserve it. And you've lied to me more than once.
You and I have different views of trust, nothing more. I've kept things to myself, but never to hurt you.
Let's get to it. I'm just supposed to take your friend across the border.
Yes,
Nothing else?
carefully if you can. Avoid roads, people, be invisible. My friend must be kept safe.
I'll make sure he's safe.
I'd hoped you'd say that.
are lots of safe passages through these parts. Tell your friend to go alone.
He could, but imagine if something happened and you saved him. Imagine the things I'd do to show my gratitude.
And why do you always turn to me?
You've proven yourself worthy. Plus, I like watching you walk away.
Every time you ask me to do something secretly, someone dies. What is it this time?
Not everyone was born with your beautiful muscles built for, well, everything. Some of us work better by avoiding fights. This time, that's all I ask.
We should be on our way.
He needs to get to the sanctuary of LFCs. It isn't far, although it may take you longer than usual.
It won't be a problem.
I'm glad we aren't going by sea. Alcibiades told me about it.
Let's go.
Nice of you for someone you don't know at all.
Τρομερότατο.
We should stay on the safest route possible.
Avanti, Foresti!
Come on. Come on.
Ella.
I should be extra careful in this area.
That's better. I was starting to get sweaty under that hood.
You're a woman.
Nice of you to notice.
Alcibiades said...
Exactly what I told him to. It was safer that way. I owe Alcibiades a lot for his help, and for trusting you with my life as well.
Enough lies. Tell me what's happening.
I said I was a man, so nobody would recognize me. I needed to escape my husband unseen.
And you trusted Alcibiades?
No one escapes my husband. He'd find me. It's been tough. I'm not sure I would have lasted much longer.
So let me guess. Alcibiades owed you a favor, or now has some scheme where you owe him?
I'm not sure what you mean. He didn't ask anything of me, and I've never known him to do so. I know many people he's helped at the expense of nobody but himself.
I'm glad I could help.
Please give Alcibiades my thanks. I only wish I had more to offer him. And you, for the help. I'll never forget either of you.
Careful. Don't want to be caught here.
The sun and moon combined could not grant the beauty that my bride-to-be was gifted. If the gods blessed me, they did so with one eye closed. But their eyes were wide open for her.
I'm impressed. If I only heard the words, I'd swear you were a poet.
My words are nowhere near what she deserves.
So, you're in love.
Yes, the wedding nears, and there is so much to be done.
If you need help, I'm here for you.
Accepting before knowing what I ask of you? That's a rare surprise. I do still need a few things. Food for an offering, a ring, and some flowers. If you could bring them to my bride, Iris, she'll make use of them.
I've known you for a while now, but you've never mentioned Iris.
There's plenty I haven't mentioned. I'm sure you could say the same to me.
So what is it about Iris that turns you into, well, what I saw?
You're not jealous, are you? Don't worry. She's very open. I suppose that's one of my favorite things about her. The openness.
So, flowers, a ring, and food. Where can I find Iris?
She should be at the altar of love. Aptly named, don't you think? Oh, and don't be too taken by her beauty.
I think this would be a nice enough offering.
Pure timator, πατριόκοσμε, ότι για τον κομμόν, ελθέ, μάκαρ, μίστεσε, βρίον και χαρημένος αεί.
Επικαλούμε,
Vabbè.
There it is. Here it is.
Hey, did you know they sent a new trainer? Some old creeper. Oh yeah? You should be there day and night. Your shield work is terrible. Stop there! You!
These flowers should be good enough for the wedding.
You're no match for it!
Hopefully this jewelry is up to Alcibiades' standards.
Let me guess. Alcibiades sent you.
He did. How did you know?
He has a skill for making others do things he doesn't want to. On top of that, he prefers if those people are attractive. He's so predictable. It's what made this whole thing so easy.
I don't care what you're doing with Alcibiades or why. He asked me to give this to you, so I am.
If I can give you some advice, you do well to be like me. Find someone with greater means than yourself. Make them love you. Reap the rewards.
I'm impressed. I didn't think Alcibiades would ever be on the receiving end of something like this.
He's used to being on the receiving end.
Well, you definitely have something in common.
I'll pretend that was a compliment.
And what if I tell Alcibiades all of this?
Why would you? You've seen him. He's happy. And I'll make sure he stays that way. There's nothing wrong with me getting something in return, but it's your choice. Thanks for helping with the wedding.
It's all done.
Wonderful. So, what did you think about Iris?
You found a good one. I can see what you like about her.
I knew you would. Even though nothing could change my mind about her, it's always nice to get confirmation from others.
I hope you two are happy. You seem perfect for one another.
We'll be more than happy. Thank you for your help, Cassandra. I hope this isn't the last time we meet.
So what was all of this for? Everything you had me do couldn't have been for nothing.
You've earned my trust. Are you sure you want to know?
So that package in Corinthia.
I almost forgot about that. I needed to get rid of the Odoros to pay off a debt. Plus, I needed spies to infiltrate Vardas's command. And my plan worked. Thanks to you.
All right. What about the politician?
He was brilliant and opposed me. A fatal combination. So, he needed replacing. And I had a much dumber man perfect for the job. He survived the party and you got him home safely. But it didn't matter in the end.
The woman with the Olisvos.
We talked about this. It wasn't about the woman, but her husband. He governs the trade routes between Attica and Mecharis. Or, I should say, I do now.
What about your friend? The one pretending to be a man?
That was out of the goodness of my heart. And gods curse anyone who doubts that.
I've heard enough.
Aren't you going to ask me about Iris?
Let me guess. Rich house, respected family. With her wealth, you can rule all of Athens.
Of course not. I marry for love. If those other things happen, well, I wouldn't complain.
I never would have guessed.
Each time everyone sees a more serious Alcibiades. The Alcibiades I've only shown glimpses of in the past. One day you'll see everything I was working toward. And you'll know you helped make it happen. Attica and lands far beyond will thank you, even if they don't know your name.
I'm glad I could help. I'll make sure you don't forget me when you lead Athens.
I'd never forget you. You're far too useful.
Δέσποινε και κύριοι πολλοί.
Διερωτώ με.
Βήματα στην αγορά. Γυνή σούσα εκεί.
I call that impression the lapdog. I wonder how many scraps every...
Διαιτησία άλλης απολυστής.
Hermippos has gone too far, Socrates. Pericles gave everything to Athens. Yet, we must still hear of Cleon's greatness.
Aristophanes, have you not done seemly things to Hermippos?
How dare you compare me to that man? His plays are a nuisance. Something I could come up with in an afternoon, and a drunken one at that. Mine are for a clever audience.
The same audience you judge. Should it not be clever enough?
Careful, Socrates, else I make you a character in one of my plays. Do you agree with Socrates that Hermippos should say what he wants?
This may be the first time I've seen Socrates listen more than he speaks.
Remember it well. You may not see it ever again.
I prefer to think before I speak, and now, having thought, I shall. Tell me, just as I am allowed to say what I wish, should not all be allowed to do the same?
Of course not. And there's much you've said that I'd say you shouldn't have, Socrates.
What if I say offends one, but is loved by another? Should I say nothing in fear of what people may think?
That would be nice, yes.
If you have such an issue with Hermippos, why not do something about it yourself?
I'd like to, but I haven't been able to find him. Maybe you'd have better luck.
It can't be that hard to find Hermippos.
That's what I thought as well. Maybe he's afraid I'll find him.
It almost sounds like you're jealous of Hermippos.
Ha! Me? Envious of him? Making someone sad is easy, but making someone laugh takes true skill and talent.
Once Hermippos is in front of you, what are you going to say?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but I promise you, it will be a grand spectacle.
Wherever Hermippos is, I'll find him.
I hope you do. His residence would be a good place to start.
They'll be on high alert here.
Έχουν πολύ κοσμήματα στην αγορά. Έχουμε μάρμαρο.
Doesn't look like Hermippos is here. I should take a look around.
Hermippos must be a member. Looks like Cleon made notes for Hermippos on his play. Everyone's a writer. lot of money for someone like Hermipos. Explains his residence, at least.
Η τραγωδία κινείται μεταξύ τριών βαθμίδων.
What is it?
I couldn't find Hermipos, but I did find out something about him. He's a member of the cult of Cosmos.
Then it's no wonder he attached himself so closely to Cleon. Discrediting Pericles and his beliefs in Athens would benefit Hermipos and the cult, I'd imagine.
Hermipos is definitely a problem.
Do you still believe he should say what he wants, Socrates?
I know not what I think, nor what I know.
Ah, yes, you deserve a play of your own.
What is a leader if he hides behind the walls he built himself? Send me fire, storm, or sickness, but bring me justice for my city.
Έναν εξάδελφο γέφυρο.
Εγώ είμαι αυτό.
Το κρέας γίγνεται φε. Κάκιο και πολλό κάκιο. Εκτείνεται 10 πραμίδια.
Ο πατήρ μου είναι ηρώος.
I don't want to be spotted here. your creepy mask.
Έναν εξάδελφον.
Μόνο όταν το επιχείρημα δομείται πιστικό.
That's a nice horse, Socrates.
It's a very nice horse. A sturdy horse. It's also a stolen horse.
Socrates the horse thief. I can almost hear the stories they'll tell. Aristophanes will love this.
Unfortunately, those stories would be entirely fabricated. Although, I would like to see if you believe the story should still be told once you know the truth.
What story is that?
There is a man nearby who is responsible for stealing the horse. I've been contemplating the proper course of action, but I'd like to know what you think is right.
And how should I make my decision?
Your thoughts are your own, but speaking to the thief himself may help you decide. Can such a crime be justified? It's an interesting thought.
Where is the thief now?
I told him to wait by the stables southwest of here.
If you caught him stealing a horse, what's to say he won't just run away?
The hope of keeping the horse. That's where you come in. I'll let him tell you the rest.
Το άδικον εστίν.
We're gonna have a problem if you...
Better stay hidden.
You lie here!
Now it's all mine!
Not now! Επικίνδυνον εστί!
That's the thief. Are you the one who stole the horse? Socrates said I should talk to you.
Bad enough being caught, but to have a Misthios judge me?
Better than an Athenian guard. Anything to say?
The man I stole it from won't even miss it. He has plenty of others, while my only horse died last week. If I had the drachmi to buy a new one, I would have.
Did you steal the horse to use it or sell it?
I have a family to feed, and this horse will help me on the farm. Plus, I have no other way of traveling right now.
There's no other option?
Not that I could think of. Trust me, I feel shame for what I did.
Any reason you picked this specific horse?
It was the easiest one to take. Other than that, not really. Though, I did make sure it wasn't his best horse.
A courteous thief.
I didn't steal it for fun. I did it because I had no other choice.
I have enough information to make a decision.
I hope you can understand. Wouldn't you do the same if it was your family?
You're a joke!
Αληθώς τούτο συνέβη.
Εστιάσει πολύ κοσμήματα στην αγορά.
Did you hear? That shipment of supplies.
Have you decided what should be done?
If he needs the horse more than the man he stole it from, let him keep it. It'll do him more good.
So, determining whether a crime deserves a consequence or reward is dependent on the reasons behind it? An intriguing thought, although I can see how dangerous such thinking might be.
The real question is whether my decision matters at all, or if this was just another test to see what I would do.
There is a good chance it is both, but an equally good chance it is neither.
Now you're not making sense on purpose.
Let me ask you one more thing. If one man kills another in order to save many, can his actions be considered just? Or should the man be punished?
If the action was for a good reason, then he is in the right.
So, in times like these, people like us get to determine the law.
The people whose lives were saved would disagree.
Then perhaps making choices that affect the most people for good is a correct path. Wouldn't you agree?
Are we done yet? I can't stay here all day.
Of course you can't. It's a luxury few can afford. Even those with the time for it often lack the mental capacity for such things.
Okay.
So now they have people watch us get punished. That's a different kind of shame.
I'm not here to watch. I just saw you by chance.
What you saw was a man who paid his master for freedom, but is being kept a slave.
You can do that?
My master gave me a price for my freedom, and I saved until I had enough. Now that I've given him the drachmi, he pretends as if the deal never existed.
That isn't right. Let me talk to him for you.
Really? You do that? My name is Phaedon. I don't know who you are, but surely you were sent by the gods. They must have heard my prayers.